Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. In this video I'm going to show you how to make this super cute Polar Express cake, including the airbrushed winter night sky and the white fondant pine trees. This cake was a very large 8-inch round, 6.5-inch tall tier, and most people would probably choose to panel a cake of this size, but I decided to go ahead and cover it in hopes of getting a nice seamless white finish to airbrush. In the end, it covered beautifully, proving once again that Karma Masa is the best fondant on the planet. I'll post a link in the description box below. You can see that I spend a ton of time smoothing the cake. Partly I wanted it to be absolutely flawless for airbrushing because the airbrush catches every little flaw on the surface of the fondant. I sketched out a quick mountain range silhouette template on parchment paper and cut it out carefully with my scalpel tool. I then wrapped it snugly around my fondant cake and put it into place with sewing pins. And then I got to work airbrushing. I started off with a very light base coat of sky blue. I was careful to try to avoid just above the mountain range because I was hoping for a bit of a gradient in my night sky. Next, I went in with some royal blue to darken it up just a bit. I still stayed a little bit away from just above the mountain range. Although I did put some color there, I just wanted to keep it light. When it comes to airbrushing, I've discovered that little by little works best. Once I was happy with the blue, I went in with some violet to darken it up even more. I went ahead and painted the mountains onto the cake because I couldn't find an airbrush color that fit what I was picturing in my head. It seems like it would be time consuming, but it actually went really quickly. For the train tracks going around the outside of the board, I chose 2 different size cake pans and used them as my guide and traced around them with my Dresden tool. For the wood on the tracks, I rolled out some brown fondant and used a wood texture mold to create what looks like some wood boards. Measured and marked the board to make sure they were spaced evenly apart before attaching them with piping gel. I used my extruder to make the metal tracks and wrapped them around the same cake pans I had used to mark my board so that they could set up a bit. Next, I created a template for the tunnel opening using a circle cutter and a ruler. I used some white fondant to create a tiny layer of snow going around the outside to kind of add another dimension. Once my tracks had set up a bit, I attached them with piping gel. The reason I let them set up is because I didn't want them to sag in between the wood. For the snow-covered pine trees, I rolled them into a bit of a log and then turned it into a little bit of a cone shape. Then I cut this in half because I was going to be attaching them to the side of the cake. Then I took some tiny scissors and cut slits all the way around, holding my scissors at about a 45-degree angle upwards. Next, I needed to create the front of a train coming out of the tunnel. I won't go into too much detail, but I basically used a bunch of circles and square shapes and attached them all together to create the basic shape of a train. I put it all together on my same tunnel opening template just so that I could gauge size and make sure my train wasn't going to be too big for the opening. Lastly, I used some white food coloring and a paintbrush to create dots all over the cake to look like snow. For an extra touch, I sprinkled some powdered sugar all around the train tracks and on top of the stones at the opening of the tunnel. I created some simple toppers using a star cutter, some gold dust, and my edible printer. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. Please support my channel by subscribing and also like this video and leave me a comment.